Okay, good afternoon. I'm here with Marilyn Schlossbach, Restaurateur, Humanitarian and Chairwoman of the New Jersey Restaurant Association. Good afternoon, Marilyn. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. And how's your family doing?
Everybody's safe and healthy, and right now that's the best I can hope for.
Yeah, I guess that's the most important thing right now,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's safe and healthy. Marilyn, can you just tell me what restaurants you currently own and operate? And before the mandated state closure, how many people did you employ in these restaurants?
So we have a pavilion of 4 businesses in Asbury Park: Langosta Lounge, Pop's Garage, the Asbury Park Yacht Club, and we were about to launch in April Saltwater Wine, Surf Sundries, and Wine Shop. And then in Long Branch, we have Whitechapel Projects. And in Normandy Beach, we have a place that used to be called the Labrador Lounge. Who knows what it will become after this?
Yeah.
Off season, we employ about 40 people, but in the summer season, that goes upwards of 200.
200 people. How many of those employees have you been able to keep, and what have you told the rest of your staff?
Well, we were through this for Sandy, so we have a little bit of experience in how all this goes down. So immediately, the day that we heard they were going to limit restaurant capacity, even before they said what they thought they were going to do, we got all the staff together and told them what we thought was going to happen. So on March 16th, we sat everybody down and we had them go on unemployment immediately. Most people got it. A couple people now, all of a sudden, glitches are starting to happen with unemployment. So people who got approved are now getting denied. Some people can't get through to the website. So that was, seems to be becoming more problematic as time goes on instead of less problematic.
Right. Did any of your employees were able to get the extra $600 that they?
No one has told me that anybody has gotten that yet in the industry that I know of.
I've heard some other states, people in other states have got it, but New Jersey, I haven't heard anybody yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that or that $1,200 check that everybody's supposed to get. And, you know, I don't know. I think sometimes we speak a little too quickly, and then as a government, we're chasing ourselves around in circles.
That's true. All those restaurants you have, are they all closed, or you got any open for takeout only?
We tried to do takeout at Langosta. We lasted about a week, and because of the location, which is on the boardwalk, and the type of business we had historically done in the past did not involve much takeout at all. It was very hard for us to do it. It wasn't consistent. There wasn't enough money coming through to keep everybody on. We didn't know if we needed product or didn't. So we switched over, and through Mary Lou Halverson at the Restaurant Association, she started a program with Fulfill New Jersey to hire restaurants for a small stipend to do meals for the community. So we do meals for the Asbury Park Senior Towers 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, about 170 meals. So that's at least keeping us consistent, knowing what we have to bring in and who we need to put on. And then we also partnered with the AP Dinner Table, which is doing something similar on a smaller scale with the churches in Asbury Park and the Boys and Girls Club. So we do some meals for them as well.
You've been doing a lot of humanitarian work over the years. Still doing anything with the Food for Thought food truck right now?
We are actually. The truck is going to be fit out while we're in the middle of all this, so we can give the guy that's going to work on it some employment, and we can't really do anything with it at the moment, so we're going to work on that project for a couple months, and hopefully when we come out of this we'll be able to do that. We are doing an online campaign called Meals and Masks through Food for Thought to raise money for masks for first responders and community. We already gave out about 2,500 masks to the Asbury Park Police and Fire and Jersey Shore and Meridian Hospitals.
Okay.
And we have 4,000 coming, not hospital grade masks, but community grade masks coming in the next couple of days. We're just waiting for the shipment to give to the people that are delivering food, to the restaurant workers, to the seniors, to the churches, so that everybody in the community is safe as well. So that's part of the program. And then the other two pieces of it, we're raising money for Fulfill New Jersey and AP Dinner Table so they can keep hiring restaurants to do the work. I mean, we're not making a ton of money, but I said, I went to the senior center today to deliver. And I said to the woman who runs it, I was like, you know, if it wasn't for this, I don't know that I could get out of bed in the morning. Like, this keeps me hopeful and connected and like I'm doing something good for the community. And during Sandy, that was probably the toughest thing for me. I was less connected to people then than I am now, even though there's social distancing, because we were so, you know, consumed by the destruction physically that it was really hard to get back into the community, where now I feel like there's opportunity for that. And that keeps everybody hopeful, including my staff. We don't have a lot of them on, only a few, but it gives them, you know, something to do and something to feel like they're still part of what they do for a living. I mean, not for nothing, restaurant people don't like to sit still. We have a very high energy level and it's really hard to be idle. And, you know, I see my friends having happy hours and doing yoga classes. And I'm like, I'm busier than ever right now, filling out applications and dealing with banks and running food around. It's different.
Well, you know, it's good what you're doing, and by keeping yourself hopeful, you're bringing hope to a lot of other people, and that's what we need in times like this. Hope, you know, that's something that we can rely on. Is that there is something better at the end of this for us. How about your banks and your landlords? Have they been working with you through this crisis?
Well, it depends on who they are. You know, another thing you notice when something like this happens to you, how much you have to deal with when you have to deal with it all at once. So, you know, you sit down and you start like, oh my God, I forgot to call this car payment or that bank or that credit card. And I would say 75% of them have been very helpful and 25% have been almost non-existent. I did file a couple claims with the Better Business Bureau and the Division of Insurance and Banking on a couple of my lenders because I wasn't getting any response or phone call or email. And, you know, that's super stressful for people not to know.
You have 11,000 square feet on the boardwalk in Asbury Park. How's your landlord treating you and the rest of the tenants there on the boardwalk? Nobody's open.
Well, they haven't been super communicative. You know, we have to fill out a lot of paperwork to ask for any kind of rental assistance up there. I'm very nervous because we aren't talking as a group, and I don't know what the future will be at the boardwalk this summer with all of these shutdowns. You know, I don't know. I know for sure we're not going to be the normal we have been in the past. And I don't know that I'll be able to handle that up there. I mean, my rent is over $500,000 a year. It's a huge nut. And if I don't do the business in the summer, there's no way I'm going to be able to fare that. You know, we do probably 2/3 of our business between May and September. And every day we lose up there is huge money.
And you rely on 100 days a year to make that back, you know, so it really depends how long this is going to take to come out of, you know. We talked a little bit about this before we went online here. How are you doing with any of the federal stimulus programs, the payroll protection loan program or the SBA loans that are out there?
Well, we filled out everything. You know, luckily I am connected to the industry on a bigger level than most people. And I've tried to push that information out. I've tried to lead people to places to get it because there's so much of it. Every day these regulations are changing with the PPP and the EIDL. Like, they're not, what they said yesterday isn't what they're going to say on Monday. It's very confusing. The application I put in for the SBA, I spoke to my accountant today. I was the first one they submitted. They have a lot of restaurant clients. And my application was the long version with all of the tax returns and P&Ls. And then the next day they changed it to the short version. So I don't know if that makes me ahead of the game or it makes me have to start all over again. You know, it's every day it's an ongoing process for this.
Right.
You know, we got approved for the first stage of the SBA loan yesterday, and it was $15,000. And I called my accountant. I'm like, is this a joke? Like, that's a half of my winter weekly payroll. Like, that doesn't, I can't even pay my liquor bills with that from my last week open. So, you know, he was like, you're the only one who's gotten it of our clients. So the best thing I could say is call. So I sat on the phone today for 2 hours. I started at the 1,500th caller and finally got somebody on the phone. And he told me that they're just doing blanket $15,000 loans, no more, no less. That's what you get if you're approved. And then they're going to go to phase 2, depending on the funding. He said they got $2 million applications within the first 2 days of opening the loan. So they're super overwhelmed. But I also think that government doesn't make things streamlined. I know, like in my business, if you want to produce a lot of food on a menu, you have to do it at volume. You have to figure out how to do that so that it's efficient. You can't just wing it. Customers get angry, they don't come back, they don't want to pay. With government, it's like they don't think about how to streamline things. Like, we have unemployment happening right now, and people aren't getting it. People have to call every week. They have to call in or email in to verify their claim. Everybody is on COVID. Like, there's no reason to call in and prove that. Just do like New York, give it to everybody. When they're done, they're done. It's over. When they open things up and you go back to work and you start getting a payroll check, it clicks, and unemployment can verify that. Like, this crazy eat up our resources by somebody having to talk to you every week to say, yes, I'm looking for a job. Yes, I'm not working. Yes, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it seems like the federal government has good intentions, and when they roll out these programs, they roll out very fast, and the rules change every day, because when it trickles down to the individual, it's a different story for everybody. So it's I know they're trying to help, but it could be a little bit better planned out and executed.
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you're in business, you think of things from a different angle. You think of things from your guest's perspective. Who's in your seat, who's at your counter, and how does what you do affect them? You don't think about how it affects you or what you need to do it. You think about the guest, the client. I don't know that government is ever in that position to really think about the client, who is us.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we are actually paying them to be our boss. They're the bosses we can't fire very easily. It's like tenure for at least 4 years. And I just think it construes all of the process. And to get everybody just to sit and say, we have a problem, we have to fix it. Mental health is a really serious issue when it comes to things like this. In every great historical pandemic, depression, stock market crash, people die, people kill themselves, people are overwhelmed, and they can't handle it. And adding a whole process of continually having to go on unemployment or continually having to change your application or file for something new, it's just going to wear people down.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I mentioned before that you're the chairwoman of the New Jersey Restaurant Association. What are you and the association doing to try to help your members?
Well, Mary Lou Halverson, who's our president, I've been on this board for 20 years or more, and she's an amazing leader, has been at the table with legislators like Vin Gopal and the governor weekly to talk about what the industry needs and what she's hearing from her constituents. There's a full landing page when you go on the njrha.org website that has everything you could possibly need to navigate this. And it's updated daily because everything's changing daily. We have board attorneys, we have board accountants that are constantly communicating with the industry nationally and locally to see what's available. But it's difficult because it's not black and white, and every day it changes. You know, today they just updated the regulations for takeout and delivery in restaurants, that we all need to wear gloves and masks, which we've been doing because luckily we had them. But if a nurse can't get a mask, how is a restaurant delivery person going to get a mask? So, you know, the fun thing that I see, or the goodness out of this, is when things get challenging, people get creative and interesting. So I've been approached 3 times to get a homemade mask. My daughter made me one last week with her grandmother. So you're starting to see community rise up, which, you know, in every negative, there's a positive, there's a shift, there's a change. There's a pink moon last night, which is a symbol of a whole shift in our whole being of the world. And maybe this is it. Maybe we're all going to have to figure out how to do things differently.
Yeah, in all darkness, there's always a light that leads us through to the other side. It's just that, you know, with this particular situation we're in, nobody knows where the other side is or when we're coming out of this. And that's the most difficult thing there. With that in mind, what do you think the restaurant landscape is going to look like when this crisis is over?
Well, I unfortunately think a lot of people are not going to be able to come back. I'm not sure I will be, depending on how long this goes, or I will be the way I was last year. For sure, I'm going to have to change. It's going to make people reevaluate their priorities for their business and for their family. Hopefully, we'll all learn some lessons. One good thing that's coming out of this is that the restaurant hospitality industry is at the table in a big way with both the local and federal government. We've never had this much of a voice. I've never seen legislation or relief packages include restaurants before. So finally, we're being taken seriously as an industry that employs and creates huge connection and memories for people. And without us, it's a big loss for the country, for the world. You know, I don't think it's just us. I think the whole landscape of tourism is going to change as well.
Yeah, you know, look, restaurants are the place where people get together to forget bad times and to celebrate good times, and they've always been there to serve their customers. And hopefully, you know, when we come out of this, they'll still be there, bigger and better, maybe in a different way, maybe in a different format. But I don't think the business is going away. I think it's going to survive, and it may look a little bit different, but it'll still be there. It'll still be there for the good times and the bad times for their customers. Exactly what I was going to ask you next is, you know, what advice, if any, would you like to share with your fellow restaurateurs? And is there any message you'd like to leave here with your customers?
Well, I think we all need to be healthy. I mean, luckily I'm in an industry, it's kind of like sending your kid to preschool. It builds immunity and antibodies in your body that not everybody gets the luxury of being thrown into. I'm in an industry where I come in contact with a lot of people all the time. Sick people, well people, old people, young people. So it makes us stronger from a health and wellness standpoint. I think it's really important that people take the time to do what they need to do right now to be healthier in mind and body. That doesn't mean going on some crazy diet. That means keeping your immune system strong, keeping your attitude strong, connecting to your family and your loved ones. And, you know, spiritually, whoever you are behind or involved with spiritually, to really tap into that, because at the end of the day, when we come out of this, we're all in it together. The whole friggin' world is in this together. We are connected, and you see people coming out of the weirdest places to do good. I mean, that AP dinner table that I'm involved with, the woman running it, she owns a paranormal bookstore in Asbury Park. She's not even in the restaurant business. So, you know, she just wants to help. She knows how vital what we do is to the community. So I think, you know, whatever happens at the end of this, let the universe be your leader. Tap into your destiny a little bit and not be so scared of the day-to-day of how this is playing out. You know, we need to be strong. That's the only advice I can give. And it's really hard. I have my days when I'm just overwhelmed. Kids at home doing homeschooling, which pray to every teacher that you go back to work. My kids get to come back with you. That's been the toughest thing. My husband, I'm lucky. He's home with them while I'm running around delivering meals. And he's stressed out about it, but he does it, you know? I mean, who knows what this will be, but it will be. It's not like we're all going to fall off the face of the earth. We're going to rise up. We're going to be something stronger.
Yeah, and hopefully as we go forward and we come at it, we can learn a lesson or two from it as well. And you know,
and we can craft our future here. You know, I said to my team, when we reopen, we can be whatever we want. Nobody's going to get mad at us or need a reason for it. This is enough reason to change anything we want to change. So really take a look at your business and see what you really want to do in it going forward, and just do it. And if you don't want to do it anymore, do something else.
True. Well, Marilyn, look, I thank you for your time today. Really, I know you've got a lot of things to do, even in a down cycle, but you always keep yourself busy. You always keep yourself involved in the community. I hope this ends very soon for you and for all of our fellow restaurateurs and for every American. All we can do is what you said, keep the faith and keep on going. So thank you, and have a rest of the day. Enjoy it.
Yeah, get some sunshine, vitamin D. It's very good.
Thanks, Marilyn.
All right.
You have a good day. Thank you.
Bye.